Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Haxball Tactical Analysis. Let's look into this go and see what went wrong for the blue team. Okay. We'll start off here with the throw-in. Now, I'm going to pause here. First thing that I want you to note in this pause is that the ball is still flying with relatively high speed. So in this exact moment, and a few seconds later, or a second earlier, whatever you want to take it, number 8 does not have the option to make a back pass. The ball, the ball is faster than him and it's going to go ahead of him just for a second until he catches up, and then he has the option to do whatever he wants. But in this moment, after the throw-in is played, after this invisible line that doesn't let you press when the throw-in is to be taken, as soon as that line is like fading away and you can cross, and as soon as you know that the ball is flying with that high speed, number one thing that the number 3 here needs to make is he needs to press. Now, I want to explain what kind of press, because not every press in this situation could be a correct one. Because if you press and if you approach the player from that direction, trying to essentially meet up where the ball would be when you arrive, this could be wrong because you're giving the chance for that player to make a pass here, and this might become dangerous. Of course, that player should be able to close, but again, this is something you don't want to have. And what you could do, and what is the best approach in pressing, is to approach. Now, since it's post, I can't tell you exactly what would the line be, but you have to make approach something like this. You're essentially trying to tell that player that you're not allowing a pass in this direction, and you want him to continue going forward. Why? Because going forward, he has nothing to do. He has no teammates here. The goalkeeper is here is ready to meet him. The only thing he could do is he could try to play for a corner kick. Like, if you close him down and you don't give that option for a play here, imagine if you get closer and the ball is here and that player is here, he has no chance to play here. He has to either slow down, and as I said, the ball is traveling fast. He has no time to go around the ball and to protect it, to block you from it. So just press hard with the idea that this player should not receive the ball. If he tries to pass to that player, you should have that position. So if he makes the pass here and you're pressing in that direction, you have to be able to intercept the ball and kick it. Doesn't matter, it's going to get in that player. You have to press and you have to stop that guy from progressing. Or if he wants to progress, sure, progress, but progress in that direction, because here it's not that dangerous. That's the first thing. Moving on. Now he gets to control the ball. The ball is now slow, and it's starting to get late to press. Now, first, and you'll see that later on the next pauses, you realize how that becomes a problem. It's very hard to play with 3 players against 4 players. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and here we have 1, 2, 3. This player is not playing. He's protecting the goal in a situation where the goal doesn't need to be protected. I mentioned earlier that he could be the one that approach. I'm in no way saying that he should press. This is wrong. This is too risky. But as you will see on the next pauses, just keep in mind how the whole ball control of red team is happening so smoothly and so easily, because they're always missing one player. If you're 4 versus 3 and you're passing, the 3 players have essentially no chance to take the ball, or if they do, it's going to be very, very hard, and maybe the red team needs to mess something up for it to happen. So he's taking already way too long. Now it's kind of tricky because you want to press, but this player is a little bit out of position. The ball is in control, so the pass here it's easier to make. It could be behind your back if that player goes. So now pressing is definitely less of a viable option, and at the same time just sitting there, like just sitting like they did, it's kinda okay, a passive approach. But the ideal situation would have been for that player to press in a way that this player can't approach the ball, it can't be passed to him, and for that player to close that angle. And then maybe for that player to get a little closer, maybe this line is way too big. No, not that big. Maybe for this player to approach up to this. So just he has more control of that space in case this guy tries to play for a corner kick or something like that. Here he kicks the ball in number 3, hoping that it goes out. That player could stop that play. So even red team can't play for a corner kick. This is the ideal situation for blue, but essentially they can't do it because it was too late on the pressure, and you know it's a risk after all. So they decided to play passively, which so far is fine. But let's see now why things get worse. Now we have the pass here, and now this movement downwards after the pass is from number 3 is okay, because like since the ball is traveling, before it reaches that player and before he has the time to make a back pass return, that player would already be here. So with this movement you're isolating that player from the game, which is okay. It's a tactically a correct move to do. I like it. However, this player now understands that the pass, he was expecting the pass and he's trying to press. And that player is opening up here the opportunity. Because why? Because he realizes that a pass to him is not that viable option, or if it's a viable option, he would redirect it here. He decides to go up and press, sorry, not to press, but to open himself wide. And that player presses here, that player presses here, and that player presses here. This is wrong. Why is wrong? The only reason it's wrong is because this player is here. If this player, the goalkeeper here, had a better, like after the ball was passed backwards, and if we assume he had the correct movement, he could have moved in that direction, or he could have moved in that direction. Somewhere in this area would be good for the goalkeeper to stay in this situation, not here. Why? Because when you press with your teammates to win the ball in a 4 versus 3 situation, this guy opens up, and see how wide that player is. So this player is not playing here. They're not on a straight line. I've said that before. They're not on a straight line. They are playing on a diagonal, and this is the correct move. Very smart, because you always have one player to have the advantage from a defensive perspective, of course, and also from a ball control perspective. It's always easier to pass like that than it is to pass like that, because it could be intercepted. And of course, when you're passing, when the player is positioned like that backwards behind you, and you make the pass straight, he can go forward. His player gains speed, gets velocity, and now the attack gets more dangerous rather than just him staying on one place. If you pass directly into him and he stays, he has to wait for the ball to arrive and then to move, which is slowing. Again, this is very micro details, but it's worth mentioning. So again, pressing here, this is not good, because this guy's open and he could score. If that player was closer, he could take care of that. Like if the goalkeeper was here and he sees that movement here from that striker, and you have the goalkeeper, he could track him. He could go with him and say, okay, you're going there, but you're not playing with the ball because I'm with you. And then this player presses here, and it was gonna be better. But playing 4 versus 3 in defense is really, really hard. Let's continue. Now, this guy started pressing but stopped. This player is now taking a very good position. Now for the red team, the situation is very, very clear. Like they already know this is gonna be, if not a goal, then at least a goal scoring opportunity for sure, because this player pressed but achieved nothing. The distance between the two is huge. He has like here, number 27 has all the freedom to do what he wants. Number 8 here is about to receive. Like if you're gonna press, like I understand why number 7 stopped. he stopped because he wants to stop that player from receiving the ball directly here. But again, what he could, like, if you were to stay with that player, you had to go backwards with him, and of course he was gonna block you. Maybe that player was gonna push. If that player blocks you, it was gonna push. But it's a 1 versus 1 unless they play 1-2 afterwards. It's a pretty bad situation to be in if you're blue team, and especially with having 3 players like I said. So moving on forward, now the pass goes. So this pressure didn't do anything. That pressure didn't do anything. It was number 7's action here was like pressing and not pressing at the same time, and he achieved nothing. Like if we were to revert backwards when I said that he decided to press and that was wrong, if he took the correct option and he decided to stay with that player, it was going to be a more passive approach. That player would receive the ball, he would walk inside, but then all these players would have the time to come back, because walking from here up forward to a dangerous position takes time, and all the players would be able to regroup if he was staying with that guy and not letting him play with the ball. This is the most optimal play. However, if we assume that he made the wrong move, which he did, he was gonna press. Sorry, not that play. He's in the previous move pause. He decided to press, and if he committed to that press and he was all in pressing, he would give this player very little time to play. I'm not saying he was gonna intercept the pass. Probably no, because the positioning of number 8 is very good. He's backwards. It's a diagonal backwards pass. It's very hard to intercept, but still, if he was to press from the beginning, full commit, all in, press until the end, this player would have very little time to play. He was gonna have to play a very quick pass here in that direction for this player. And now again we come back to the goalkeeper. If the goalkeeper saw that pressure and saw the opportunity, he could press too. He could press here where that player is, and essentially that's how they would defend from that goal. Because forcing the number 8 to give a quick pass, which is not that how can I say, not that accurate, gives time for all the players to regroup, and most importantly, it gives time for the goalkeeper to press and to close down, to close the angle, and to not give the freedom for this guy Coco Meo here to actually score. While in fact, if we play here the replay, you will see how much time this player had and that player had to position this. So he gets it. Now this player was starting to push, but he stopped. Now again, the ball. Oops, sorry about that. The ball is here. Push, like this guy. If the ball is coming here, he needs to turn. He can't shoot from there. Like, get on his back and don't let him make anything else. As soon as you get on his back and that player closes, the only play that this player has if he receives the ball is to back pass it here in that direction, and that player to move upwards, because all these players are closing down, and essentially that player would open himself for another pass, and you're essentially resetting the attack of the red team. You're preventing a goal. You're preventing a goal just if you press. But instead, like in the previous pause, he started moving forward, but now he stops. And now just waits for them to position themselves properly, for this player to get in a good shooting position, which again, so many seconds you could press. Now in this, you can start press now. It's late, but still it's better than staying on your goal. Like, just goalkeepers, this thing, the distance from here to here, it's huge. You have to press, and you have to not allow shots to be taken, because however, if you stay, of course, you know this is basic geometry, but if the goalkeeper stays here, and this player could go very close, and they could score very easily. But if you are actually the guy who stays close and closes all the angles, he has no way to hit those sweet spots where essentially you can see the goal. So as goalkeeper, don't be afraid to be aggressive. Like, even if you're still learning, do it on friendly matches, do it in public rooms. Just press the striker when the ball is behind him, when he can't. Like, I will unpause here, see the pass. Now it's not a good moment to push, like to press him. the ball is already about to face your goal, and he has all the opportunity. He has the opportunity to pass if that player tries to close the angle, or he has the opportunity to shoot. Like, you're screwed in this situation. There isn't much you could do, but you could do it a few seconds earlier. You still had a chance. Now it's too late. And again, another tip for the goalkeepers. When the ball is coming in that direction, you just imagine in milliseconds how the ball is like here, and then 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 here. So the striker has the options to shoot. First, the striker has the option to pass. If he decides not to, again, I'm saying this happens in milliseconds. In real time, it looks very fast. But you have to know the logic of the decisions that the striker can make. First decision he can make is to, okay, if we even go further backward, the first decision that the striker can do is to back pass. In this situation, he doesn't do, obviously, because he can score. First decision that he can do is to pass here. Again, he sees that the player is very close to intercept. He doesn't do it. Next decision, somewhere around here or around here even, would be to shoot in the far post. That's what he does. And as a goalkeeper, he's protecting the close post, this area here. He's trying to stop the striker from shooting here, but the ball hasn't even reached that area yet. So as a goalkeeper, you want to, when you have a situation where the DM here passes the ball to the striker and the striker has positioned himself to shoot downwards, you want to take, and again, this needs mastery and a lot of playtime, but still you have to understand how it's done and what is the logic behind it. You want to first start your positioning to be somewhere around here, because you know that the first option is pass, the second option is shot down here, and then the third option, when the ball goes after the striker, that's when he can shoot here. And that's how you have, as the ball travels, you want to transition your position, you want to move slowly in that direction, because if the striker doesn't take that shot here, he will most definitely take the other, and then you will be able to shoot. Like this, I don't know if the drawing is clear enough, I hope it is, but this is essential for all the goalkeepers to understand when they position. When the situation is already pretty much very, very bad, because the enemy team is about to score, you still have one last chance to protect and to stop the goal, to make a save. And staying here, like guessing that the striker will shoot here. This is not a penalty kick. Like in penalty kick, you just jump in some direction, for example, and you hope that you hit the proper direction where the striker is going to shoot. But here, the striker sees that you're here, sees that this corridor is empty, and 10 out of 10 times he will shoot here. You will never make him shoot here when you're staying like here. There is no chance that he decides to shoot here. If you stay here and you force him to think here, yes, maybe he could score, but you have the opportunity to close down. If you have the proper velocity, if you decide to make the counter movement in this direction, in the right move, and if the striker is not perfect on his shot, if he's a little bit too early, too late, he could hit the post, you could save, he could shoot directly in you. You have a chance to save. In the current situation with this positioning, you simply don't have a chance against a good striker. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.